The dream you're chasing may be shaping you more than you realize. Not all dreams are equal. Some dreams feed our ego. Some are built out of fear. Some come from pressure, comparison, or the need to prove ourselves. And some dreams come from God. Not every dream looks wrong at first. In fact, some of the most dangerous dreams are the ones that look successful on the outside, while quietly pulling us away from the person that God created us to be. Because every dream costs something. The dream you pursue affects your time, your relationships, your peace, your priorities, and even the direction of your heart. It impacts the people around you more than you may realize. And if we never stop to ask where that dream came from, we may spend years paying a cost that God never intended us to pay. God's dream for your life is bigger than personal success. His dream is less about building your kingdom and more about transforming your heart, strengthening your faith, and helping you to become who He designed you to be. The beautiful thing is that God doesn't leave us guessing. Through His Word, He gives us wisdom, direction, conviction, and peace. The closer we grow to Him, the clearer we begin to see which dreams pull us towards life and which ones slowly pull us away from it. So today, we're going to talk about different kinds of dreams, how to recognize what may or may not be from God, and why the most important dream that you can pursue is the one that God has for your life. The most important dream of all in our Created to Dream series. Did you ever dream about being famous? Maybe you dreamed about being the best in the world at something, or the richest person you know. Many of these dreams aren't worth your energy and time because they're fleeting. That's why smart selection is key. You have to decide what dream is worth your life and what dream is not worth a second of your life. There are actually 3 types of dreams. A dream can be the thoughts and images that you have while sleeping. Not all those dreams are good. Some are nightmares. Dreams can also be the passions and ambitions you have while you're awake. They are more important than the dreams that you have while sleeping. But the third type of dream, God's dream for your life, is the most important dream of all. While you can dream up some amazing things, God's dream for you is personalized. As we discussed in session 2, there's nobody else like you in the world. God gives you the ability to dream of new hobbies, new businesses, new ministries, to dream about making a difference and changing your community, to dream of impacting the world. Pursuing God's unique dream for you is always the first step He uses in His process to change your life for the better. Everything starts as a dream. Whether we realize it or not, every one of us is pursuing some kind of dream. For some people, it's success. For others, it's comfort, money, relationships, recognition, influence, security, achievement, or even just the dream of finally feeling enough. The dreams themselves aren't automatically bad. There's nothing wrong with wanting to build something meaningful. There's nothing wrong with ambition, goals, creativity, or wanting to make an impact. God created us to create, to grow, to work, and to use the gifts that He gave us. The question isn't whether you have a dream. It's where is that dream leading you? Who are you becoming while you pursue it? Is it drawing you closer to God or pulling you away from Him? Because sometimes we become so focused on the destination that we stop paying attention to what the journey is doing to our heart. Sometimes A dream can start out innocent and then turn into an idol. It becomes the thing that we think we need in order to be fulfilled, valuable, respected, or secure. And once that happens, we don't just pursue the dream anymore. We depend on it. We start sacrificing peace for it. We sacrifice relationships for it, integrity for it, time with God for it. And we justify all of it because we convinced ourselves that the outcome will somehow make everything worth it. But no dream was ever meant to replace God. So there's different types of dreams that people chase. Some dreams are born out of comparison. We see someone else's life, someone else's success, someone else's platform, relationship, career, or lifestyle. And suddenly we start wanting something that we never even cared about before. Social media has made it even harder because we're constantly exposed to highlight reels of people's lives. It's easy to start chasing a version of success that looks impressive online but leaves us spiritually empty. And other dreams can come from wounds from the past. Sometimes we're driven by a need to prove something, or maybe we want success because we've grown up feeling unseen. Maybe we want money because we've experienced hardship and instability. Maybe we want recognition because deep down we still feel rejected. And if we're not careful, pain can quietly become the fuel behind our ambition. And then there are the dreams that are simply good desires, but not necessarily God's direction for us right now. You want something sincerely and still need wisdom about the timing or the motive, or maybe the path you're taking to get there. And then there's the dreams that are truly from God, dreams that align with His character, dreams that produce love, humility, obedience, growth, and faith. Dreams that don't just benefit us, but also impact other people in healthy ways. God-given dreams may still be difficult. They may still require sacrifice, but they pull us closer to Him instead of farther away. That's one of the biggest differences. So question 1 says, what dream are you pursuing right now? What effects could it have for you and for others? One thing we don't talk about enough is that our dreams never only affect us. The dream you're chasing impacts the people around you. It affects your family, your friendships. It affects your priorities, your emotional health, your presence, and your patience. People can often feel what you're devoted to before you ever say it out loud. If a dream is consuming you in an unhealthy way, the people closest to you usually experience the effects first. And sometimes we tell ourselves we're pursuing something for other people while becoming less emotionally available to those very people in the process. We could be pursuing a career to better our family and then not spending time with our family, which is what they really need. And that's a hard truth. A God-centered dream should not consistently produce selfishness, pride, dishonesty, bitterness, or emotional destruction in its wake. That doesn't mean that every God-given dream will be easy. Some seasons require sacrifice and discipline, but there's a difference between sacrifice and obsession. There's a difference between healthy ambition and allowing a dream to become your identity. Because when a dream becomes your full identity, failure becomes devastating. If the dream falls apart, you feel like you fall apart too. And that's often a sign that we've placed way too much weight on something that's temporary. Our identity was never supposed to rest in achievements. It's supposed to rest in God. So question 2 says, how does knowing God's word help you to pursue God's dream? How do we know if our dream's from God? We stay close to him through his word. The more time that we spend with God, the more clearly we begin to recognize his character, his wisdom, and his direction. A lot of people want God to reveal the future, and they ignore the Bible that's sitting right there in front of them. But God's word shapes our discernment. It changes the way we think, the way we make decisions, the way we define success. Proverbs 16:3 tells us, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. Notice that starts with surrender, not control, not self-promotion, not demanding our own way. Commit your work to God. Bring your dreams before him honestly. Ask him to refine your motives. Ask him to redirect you if necessary. Sometimes that's scary because deep down we know that God may not always affirm every dream that we've attached ourselves to. But his direction is always better than our illusion of control. Psalm 24 says, may he give you the desire of your heart and make all your plans succeed. I think people sometimes misunderstand this verse. It doesn't mean that God automatically grants every desire that we have. As we grow closer to him, he begins shaping the desires themselves. He changes what we value. He changes what fulfillment looks like. He changes what kinds of life we actually want. And Philippians 1:6 reminds us, he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. And that's important because sometimes God's greatest dream for your life isn't just about what you accomplish externally. It's about who you are becoming internally. God is forming your character, your faith, your dependence on him, your ability to love people well. Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord. And that verse changes the focus completely. Success is no longer about recognition or results. It's about faithfulness. You can work hard, pursue excellence, build meaningful things, but the heart behind it matters. What are you really doing it for? And there's a prayer in our book. It says, God, I have dreams for my life, but I want to pursue first the dream that you imagined for me even before I was born. Help me to trust that no matter how big the dreams are that I come up with on my own, your dream is always bigger and better. Sometimes we treat God like he's supposed to fit into our plans. We create our version of the future and then ask him to bless it. But following Jesus often looks more like surrender than control. Surrender is difficult because we naturally want certainty. We want a whole roadmap. We want a guarantee. We want to know exactly where things are headed. But faith means trusting God before we can fully see what he's doing. And here's what I've realized. God's dream for your life may not always make you the most impressive person in the room, but it will make you more whole. It will produce a deeper peace, stronger character, greater purpose, more eternal impact. The world teaches us to ask, how successful can I become? But God often asks, how faithful are you willing to be? Those are very different questions. Sometimes the dream that God gives you may even seem smaller in the eyes of the world, but carry far greater meaning in eternity. God's definition of success is different from the world's. So I want to encourage you to really think about the dream that you're currently invested in. Why are you pursuing it? What's it producing in you? Is it bringing you closer to God? Or is it slowly replacing Him? Is it producing peace or constant anxiety? Humility or pride? Love or self-obsession? If God asked you to let go of it tomorrow, could you? That's a difficult question, but an important one. God tells us to hold things lightly. He could take anything away at any time. Because anything we can't surrender can eventually control us. It can become an idol. The good news is that God is patient. He isn't waiting for you to have your entire future figured out before He walks with you. He guides us step by step. And even when we spent years chasing the wrong things, God's grace is still greater. He can redirect us, restore us, refine us, and lead us somewhere better. Sometimes losing a dream becomes the very thing that helps us discover God's purpose more clearly. At the end of the day, the most important dream isn't the one that makes us look successful to the world. It's the one that draws us closer to God and helps us to become who He created us to be. Because one day, every achievement, every title, every accomplishment on earth will fade. But the work that God does in your heart will last forever. So don't just ask God to bless your dream. Ask Him to shape it, to refine it, or even replace it if necessary. Because His dream for your life is greater than anything you can build on your own. And the closer you walk with Him, the more you'll realize that becoming who God created you to be is far more fulfilling than becoming who the world told you to become. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Love you.